to all you Librans out there. Welcome and welcome for your monthly horoscope for August 2014, when Mars is finally out of your sign and shifting into the second house. But I'm going to talk about something else first. Now, what is happening in August? A couple of things, but and I made two separate videos to explain a bit more in detail what I'm explaining here, quite in general. What is happening, a very important thing that is happening is Saturn that is making an inconjunction with Uranus. Now, why is that so important? It's perfectly at 16 degrees. So Saturn in 16 degrees of Scorpio is inconjuncting Uranus at 16 degrees of Aries. And this is significant because an inconjunction always shows that there is a possibility of knowing oneself better, of independent energies going on in a chart. Because an inconjunction is a very difficult energy. It's not easy to merge two different energies. Actually, as a matter of fact, when there is an inconjunction, it's not meant to merge. It's about the knowing that those two are operating separately, and it's also not a time to merge the two or to blend the two energies. Now, what is that in a concrete, practical, what does it mean for you Librans? Well, Saturn is in your second house. And Saturn is a planet that restricts, that is a bit slow and tries to structure something. And the second house can be your self-esteem, but also can be your money. So Saturn is doing its thing, it's structuring, and it's sometimes testing times when it comes to money or when it comes to your self-worth. You're working hard there, in other words. And Uranus, so it's putting an inconjunct to Uranus, is in your seventh house of relationships. So there is your possibility to liberate yourself, to learn something about freedom through other people. Those are two different areas of life. But the thing is with inconjunctions that the individual, you, the Libran, wants to merge those two. So for example, you have a new relationship and you're having low self-esteem, and you're trying to merge those two. You're trying to have more self-esteem, better relationship, and it's not working. So the best thing you do is to see those things a bit separately, working on your self-esteem, but not trying so hard to do that for the relationship. So you do it a bit independently. If you do that, then you are using the inconjunction in a very positive way. So the harder you try, the worse it gets. And it's just a simple example. It can also have to do with money and relationships. So maybe there is money involved, or there is possessions involved when it comes to a significant relationship. And those two are very hard to blend. And maybe it just has to be that way. And the merging and the blending will happen in the future, but not now. Not now in August. It's not time to do that now. So this is the, of course, the Saturn and the Uranus. Saturn is very much about the old, and Uranus is very much about the new. So for a lot of people of us around August are struggling with the old and the new. Certain areas of their life that they're trying to be the new already, but they're still that old. And you can't just stick to the old, but you can't just let go of the old completely. So that's the energies that are present at the time. So, but it's there to know yourself better at those two different levels, at those levels of self-esteem, at those levels of your financial health, you could say, and of the levels of relationships. Of liberating yourself. If you don't have a relationship, liberate yourself from the fear. If you have a relationship that is very restrictive and it is very negative, to release yourself from that relationship as well. Or when it's a good relationship, find enough freedom in the relationship to do your own thing, but also to grow, and each one finding its own way and having the space to develop both individuals. So very interesting in conjunction there that is going on. At the same time, Venus and Jupiter are in Leo. So I talked about that earlier month, about Jupiter in Leo, and now also Venus joining around the 13th of the month in your 11th house. This is nice. I have that in my natal chart, Venus and Jupiter in the 11th house, and this is absolutely a benefit for the month of August. Why? Because the 11th house is a very social house, it's a house of networking, it's the house of friends, it's the house of intentions, it's the house of hope, wishes, and the future. And Venus and Jupiter are very buoyant energy, so there is, in other words, there is hope, there is good connections with friends, and enjoying yourself amongst friends. So definitely a month where you can do those things. Also a month where you can find new hope for the future. And don't we need that all, I want to say seriously, but I wanted to say that in these times when there's so much going on a collective level and so harsh reality, it's so important to have hope. And it's so important to have hope for the future. And you, Librans, are the ones that can really do that. Not only for yourself, but also for your friends, for like-minded people, for people that you love, to give them that hope, and because it's only the optimists that are going to survive, you know. So you can get a bit of optimism there, and this is really, really a nice aspect of August for you, you Librans. And the last thing that I want to mention is that also Mars joins Saturn in that second house again. So Mars will be in Scorpio throughout the whole month in your second house. So again, an emphasis on that house of self-esteem, on that house of self-worth, but also on that house of money. So a lot of Librans will probably push and do a lot of effort to improve their financial situation or their self-esteem. So because Mars and Saturn together at its best, at its worst it's frustrated energy, so you don't want that. At its best, it's working hard to achieve what I just said, a healthy financial situation, healthy self-esteem, so confident and respectful towards others and towards oneself. Second house is also a house of respect, I think, and surely respecting yourself. And so with Mars there, Mars always shows where a lot of energy is going. So you're putting a lot of energy there throughout the month to improve that, and you can actually. So a lot of different things in August on different areas of life, but therefore quite interesting. And the separate videos that I made were about Jupiter in Leo, if you want to explore a bit more and you're interested in astrology. And it's also about the Mars and the Saturn together, because it's such a focused energy that if you do it right, you can really master your actions. So a bit more there in those videos. If you want a reading, please get in touch. And thanks for watching, and see you next month. Bye bye.